I wanted just to go back to, Your Excellency, the issue that you've mentioned, very telling, that President William Ruto is a national security threat. And this is in regard to the statement that was tripping off his tongue today.
Indeed.
Where he mentioned that he's giving sort of orders for police to shoot, to maim, or to injure, shoot.
Just imagine, Ania, that President Ruto's order is to shoot on the legs. And then there's a crowd of 1,000 people. How do you aim at their legs if you're at a distance? So this is clearly an order to shoot, to kill. And now we know the person behind Murkomen's statement when he said he's acting on orders from above. So the person who was above is William Ruto himself. And this has been widely condemned as reckless, as uncalled for, as unconstitutional. In fact, I keep on saying some of these offenses are impeachable. And perhaps one thing that would shock William Ruto is because members of parliament, current parliament, 13th parliament, are beginning to smell elections around the corner. If there was an impeachment motion against William Ruto, although the current parliament, we say, is widely compromised, state captured, but it will shock him because now these members of parliament may want to redeem their future, their possibility of getting re-elected. They would impeach him because nobody wants to go down with the mistakes that William Ruto is committing. So I want to say, reiterate that because of that he has become a risk. And yet he is a chairman of the National Security Council. The chairman of the National Security Council. That council should tell the president that what he's doing is unconstitutional.
The president
now,
the president thinks also that the united opposition of Kenya is also a threat.
No.
He has mentioned today that this country will not be destroyed with a few people who are impatient
it is not
and who want to have a change of government using unconstitutional means.
Well,
it is not going to happen, and I want to tell them it is not going to happen. This is just reading verbatim of what he's saying today.
You know, I tell you, all authoritarian leaders world over are known to use very hard language. And that is why we wonder why he's looking so angry. The united opposition has come out to say it is their constitutional right to remove a person who has failed to deliver on the electorate. In fact, Kenyans are saying, why should you people be giving us manifestos? I was famous myself when I pronounced in 2007 that this should be a 24-hour economy. But Kenyans are saying, forget all of that. What you're saying is you want the agenda we should and we believe is one term. That's the only agenda we think we believe. You can tell us after that what else you think you want to do. Because William Ruto and his team came in saying, we will help Mama Bogas. We will help youth get employment. We will make sure that we kick poverty in the teeth. But this country now, a lot of Kenyans have, I can tell you, have dropped below the poverty line. And you know the poverty line internationally described as anybody who is earning less than $1 a day. And $1 today is translated to 120 shillings, say 130 shillings. A lot of Kenyans cannot afford $1 per day. So the country that he took over from, Uhuru Kenyatta, right? At least was slightly above the poverty line. Kenyans have now descended. The high cost of living itself is a problem, and he knows it. So I heard him actually complain that that's a very unfortunate statement also. He says when he took over, were all these people complaining they are without jobs? Were they employed? How can a head of state talk like that? So we think he has lost the plot, and it is the right of the opposition. It is our constitutional duty to hold his government to account. None of us None of us in the United Opposition wants to do a military coup. We don't have the capacity. We do not have the capacity to do that or cause a civilian coup unless Kenyans in their own right find they cannot bear it anymore and do a Sri Lanka type of thing. I think that's what he's afraid of. A Sri Lanka type of thing or of a Bangladesh. But those are people acting on their own because we are saying, as he's saying, enough is enough. Every Kenyan, I can tell you today, is saying enough is enough. If there's a commonality of thought, it is what William Ruto is saying and what Kenyans are saying. So this matter will be resolved during the next election. So I want to get to a situation where we get IBC correctly in place now, because this situation is not palatable without an independent electoral boundaries commission, which can call for elections anytime. And we think they're playing tactics about this matter, in fact. So
you think the government is really stonewalling the entire process?
We think
these
they are.
injunctions that are in court also could be government-sponsored?